I owe you nothing. If you carried that bag a million miles, you did what you were supposed to do because you brought me into this world. And from that day, you owed me everything you could ever do for me, like I will owe my son if I ever have another. But you don't own me. You can't tell me when or where I'm out of line, or try to get me to live my life according to your rules. You don't even know what I am, Dad. You don't know who I am. You don't know how I feel, what I think. And if I try to explain it the rest of your life, you will never understand. You and your whole lousy generation believes the way it was for you is the way it's got to be. And not until your whole generation has lain down and died will the dead weight of you be off our backs. You understand? You've got to get off my back.
7 men sentenced this week for sexual crimes. All white. 4 church leaders. 3 law enforcement. Not one person of color. Not one drag queen. Who's really the threat?
Just a reminder that in 2021, the UN wanted to make food a human right, and the only 2 countries that voted no were the United States and Israel.
I love it when people comment like this. I love it, I love it. Stop calling Republicans hateful. What do you want me to call it? Afraid? You're afraid of anybody who don't really like you, who don't think like you, who don't like the same people you do? What do you call that? Oh no, what do you call that? Talking about it's a little too hard for my type out here. We talking about it. Y'all the ones who, oh my God, it's a black guy. Oh my God, it's an Asian. Oh my God, a Latino. Oh my God, it's a gay person. Oh my God, it's a trans. And like you lose your fucking mind. Meanwhile, because of that hateful ass mentality y'all got, things continue to worsen for everybody. But you don't care, as long as everybody else who you don't like is in the shit too. Misery loves company. Like you guys so willfully ignore that your own lives are being negatively affected in the most egregious of ways. Because we gotta get those goddamn illegal aliens out of here. Then what happens? Well, in Florida specifically, due to the lack of migrant workers, like, you know what, we're gonna relax the laws a little bit. You can put your kids to work, and they can work overnights, even if it's a school night. And you know what? They don't even need breaks, bro. They can just work them. I'm not even gonna touch. I'm not even gonna touch the whole pedo majority that is the Republican Party. I don't like. How about you, realist? Cat, is this real?
If it's not okay to judge the people of the past by today's moral standards, then how come the people of today are capable of judging today's moral standards? You see what I'm saying? They tell us that we can't judge the supposedly great people, usually men, if we're honest, of the past for having things like slaves or child brides because they were a product of a different time, different norms and rules. But if you, a product of today's times, today's norms and rules, can look around yourself and identify things that you feel are immoral, destructive, abhorrent behavior, then surely we can expect the people of the past, particularly the great people, to have been able to do the exact same thing, no? And personally, I feel things like slavery, owning people, or having relations with children should be number 1 and 2 on the clearly most obviously easy things to identify list. So if they fail to do that, then I'm not going to hold their morality in particularly high regard.
I don't know if this is actually true, but from my perspective, just talking about the activism work I'm doing with Right to Food and volunteer networks has started to form a pedestal under my feet, and I don't want to hold myself in that regard. Let me try to explain. You see, a little while back, I told y'all that the word activism gave me the ick, and while I'm still not entirely sure it isn't programming, there's this thing about how people who do these types of jobs and work and really throw themselves into it start thinking of themselves a bit higher than others. And that has always kind of freaked me out because, like, from this person's perspective, I am but a fragment of the soul just moving through life. No better or worse than anybody. And I know that's been up for debate around this channel before, but from my personal viewpoint, I am better than no single person on this planet. You can think of the worst among us and the best among us, and I'm just there, you know, because I just put my head down and I do the work. And that's what I've always felt it was supposed to be. But as I talk about the things that I'm doing in real life, as well as here online, I happen to start feeling a little bit differently about myself and those around me. I just want more people to see an opportunity for them to put their head down and do some work and not really get hung up on the fact that I am doing something outside of the 9 to 5, that, you know, suddenly I seem to have some energy to put forward towards some cause, because, like, we all can. We all can. The amount of time and effort that we give to these little black mirrors in the form of social media and things can be better spent. It really can. And I'm trying to bridge the gap because, honestly, I started talking a big game here first before I started walking the walk. But I still find myself getting a bit icked out at the fact that people are really proud of the things that I'm doing. They think it's great that I'm putting the energy and the effort in, and I'm getting some great kudos. But in real life, like face to face, it feels a hell of a lot different than comments here online. And it's been something to cope with. Is it programming? Because I kind of do want to kind of step back and stop talking about it. Don't really want to mention the good deeds that I'm doing. But at the same time, if I don't talk about it, then who's going to know? And I've actually invited quite a few people from the place that I work at to the Volunteer Rocks Expo that's happening at the end of the month. So, I mean, you know, that kind of ripple is actually a really good thing. So why do I have so much ick? I don't know. It's just something I wanted to bring to fellow citizens today because it's something that's been on my mind all week. And I would love to have a discussion if you have any words of inspiration or thoughts or concerns maybe. And until next time, be well, fellow citizens.
Hey man, Happy New Year. Bro, New Year's was months ago. That's what they want you to think. What do you mean? The real New Year starts in the spring when everything wakes up. At least that's how it's always been until the Gregorian calendar messed everything up. So how did the Gregorian calendar mess things up? Pope Gregory introduced the Gregorian calendar not to keep time, but to remind folks when to pay taxes. That's why it's called calendar, because in ancient Rome, calends was the day that debts were recorded. Wait a minute. You're saying the calendar was built for taxes? Exactly. And the whole system got thrown off earlier when Julius Caesar and Augustus decided they wanted their own months. That's how we got July and August. Well, why is February so short? Because Augustus wanted his month to be just as long as Julius's, so he stole a day from February. So they reshuffled time to feed their egos. Here I thought they made February short because they were just racist towards Black History Month. But this makes more sense. And that's not even the craziest part. Have you ever noticed the months don't even truly line up to their names? Think about it. September, Septem, 7, but it's the 9th month. October, Octo, 8, but it's the 10th month. November means 9, but it's the 11th month. December, Deca, 10, but it's the 12th month. So they really out here just messing things up. If the calendar was actually accurate, we would have 13 months, not 12. But why 13? Because it follows the natural cycles of the moon's 28 days, which also corresponds to women's menstrual cycles. You see, ancient cultures had it right. They based their calendar based off the moon and the cosmos, not taxes. So every month would be 28 days. Exactly. And the first day of every month would always land on the same day of the week. So we're really just out here living in a system designed to confuse us. And now you see why they call it April Fool's Day.
Let's make no mistake that if your religion or your spirituality does not demand liberation for all entities on this earth, it's not God that you're seeking.
What color was kindergarten?
Kindergarten?
Yeah, when you was in kindergarten or pre-K, what color was it? Ooh. It was every color.
Yeah, I was going to say rainbow.
Okay, now when you went to 1st to 2nd grade, what color was it?
I don't know.
It was bland. Yeah. It was that color.
Yeah, it was just
like jail.
Exactly. Then when you went to high school, what color was it?
Like jail.
Yeah.
Okay, then when you went to work, what color was the wall?
Yeah.
It's waning you off the frequency. When you a kid, you vibrant, you running around, and then the first thing they do is they say, wane them off the frequency. Make the walls tan, make everything tan, make it boring. Sit down, don't move. They just get you right out your spirituality. And then the next time that you do get introduced to a colorful environment, guess where you at? You in a club. If the club was this color, nobody would go. But since it's black and it's universal light, aka from red to purple, it feel like you in the universe. It feel like you in the universe. So this is why people like the club. It's called colorology. Even hunger. Hunger is triggered by the color red, yellow, and orange. What color is Wendy's? What color is Chick-fil-A, McDonald's? Every highly successful fast food franchise, I guarantee you, if they not all red, orange, and yellow, they have either one of them colors at a high value.
Yeah.
So this is people who literally socially engineer the world.